Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the market close for, well, December 23rd. We are almost there. Holy banana bread. Some people call this Christmas Eve Eve. Maybe, I don't know. What about Christmas Eve squared? I don't know. We'll think of it. We'll think of it as we move along. So we do have a green day on the market. So that's not a bad thing. There was the potential. There was some potential there for some red day because obviously we got some October GDP data that came out today. And we got a little bit of a contraction in October of our GDP. But overall, the market pretty much shrugged that off and said, GDP? What GDP? We don't care. It's not a strong green day, but it's a green day nonetheless. And we're a little bit closer to, I want to see year to date. I want us to finish with 30%. 30%. Right now, we're sitting at 29.11% year to date. A little bit of work left to do in the last week of the month, but I think we can do it. I think we can do it. So we'll see. We'll see how that ends up. Even if we don't, even if we end up at 29%, that's still crazy. So gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right. Housekeeping right away. Tomorrow's show. Yeah, we got a show tomorrow. It will be starting early. So tomorrow's show, we will be starting at 12:30 Eastern. So, those West Coasters, get up early because we're starting early because the market closes tomorrow at 1 p.m. At 1 p.m. Eastern. So it's hard. We can't have a market close if the market's already closed. So we had to start early. That's coming up. One other little piece of another small little change. So we have the Christmas Day show. Normally I start that at 10 a.m. Eastern. But that's really early for the West Coast folks. So I've made I've made a decision to push that ahead an hour. So we're going to start the Christmas Day show at 11 a.m. Eastern. Just so those of you on the West Coast who do want to partake, it'll make it a little bit easier for you. So Christmas Day show 11 a.m. Tomorrow's show 12:30. All right. If that's not enough housekeeping, we also, because tomorrow's show is so early, normally we're doing as you guys know, we're doing this Financial Express. So every time we get 4 supers or gifted subs or combination, we add a show. So normally we would open that up for the Monday show because the market is closed on Christmas Day. So on Thursday and Friday, it's also closed. So what I'm going to do is let's just do it today. We'll do it today for Monday. So I will open up the Financial Express. So by the end of the show, if we get those 4 supers or gifted subs, we'll throw that show on Monday. We'll do the show for Monday, and then we'll keep going from there. Now, we've been talking a little bit about, so I had a couple ideas. If we hit a certain goal and we hit that goal, I was going to give you guys that opportunity on the last market close of this month to sort of pre-pad as many as you wanted into January. But we'll still do that unless we get a perfect month and we're still on par. You guys have not missed a beat. Not missed a beat. So if we make it through this month and we get to that last day, I'm not going to stop this. I will not stop the Financial Express. So we will keep going into the new year until you miss a day. As soon as we miss a day, we're back to our normal schedule. We'll go back to the norm. But you guys potentially could keep the Financial Express going to next Christmas if you want to. I'll be very busy if that happens, but that'll be the reward if we do not miss a single day. All right. With that being said, I have got to get to the charts because we got a bell. We got a bell today to hit. So let's pull up the chart. That's a good place to start. So as you can see, guys, we do have a green TSX today. It is up 0.18%. We are well into a green month. It is looking very, very solid. I do not expect to see a lot of stuff happening on the market tomorrow. So we'll have that last week, the between Christmas and New Year's week to see if anything else is going to happen to the market. Right now, it is sitting right down here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. If I'm on your TV, you can see it. But year to date, we're sitting at 29.11%. That's crazy. That's crazy, but it's crazy good. It is crazy good. Now, technically, on our 1 year, so from December, well, just before Christmas last year to this year, we are at that 30.45%. So that's really, really good. Those of you who don't know, those of you who are new, maybe this is your first show, one might be wondering what this blue line is. This blue line, I put these on all the charts. This line basically is where we ended last month. So that line is where we ended November. This way we know if we're in a green month or a red month. And with the holidays here, we're calling the top half the nice list, the bottom half the naughty list. So we're on the nice list. We're really nice. Now, let's take a look at the United States. So the S&P 500, they are also having a green day. They're not as far above the blue line as we are, but they're still doing pretty good. And for them on their year to date, 17%, right on the nose, right on the nose. So we are absolutely kicking the S&P 500 this year. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. Canada is owning the U.S. I wonder if we should just make them our 10th province or 11th. Do we have 10 provinces? I think we have 10. They're not even. No, we'll make them a territory of Canada because oh boy. Anyway, the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is also in the green. They're above that blue line. They're coming in right now at 0.43%. And our Dow Jones Industrial, they're also 0.16 on the day, but the last few candles have been to the downside. So they've got a little bit of red pushing them down, but I think they're going to be fine. And those little caps, the Russell, they are down on the day, 0.57, but they're still well above that blue line. Gold having another good day, up 1.13%. Silver up 3.48, copper up 1.2, and oil having a strong day as well. West Texas Intermediate up 1.11. In the world of crypto, Bitcoin is down 0.68, Ethereum's down 1.16. All right, let's head to our heat maps here. Oh, we'll pull the side. We don't need the side. And I'm just going to very quickly, guys, I'm just going to refresh it. I did refresh this a little earlier, so it should be fine. But yeah, you never know. All right. So not a lot of red here in the Canadian market. I mean, we got a little bit over here. We got a few technology. We got a little bit of red over in technology. But for the most part, it's looking pretty good. The banks are looking good. We got TD up 0.45. We got Royal Bank up 0.3. BMO very flat. Actually, BMO is down 0.01, but it's not too bad looking. It's not too bad looking. Our energy stocks looking good again. Canadian Natural Resources, I mean, look at them up. 1.21, not too shabby. Imperial Oil's up. Cenovus, though, is down a tiny, tiny bit. Suncor looking strong as well. Enbridge is looking fine. TC Energy's looking fine. So not too shabby, not too shabby. Cogeco, our uranium company out of Saskatchewan, having a good day, up 1.59%. Switching to the United States, technology is pretty much leading. It's kind of powering their green today. We can see NVIDIA up 2.86%. Apple's up 0.44. Google's up 1.46. So it is looking pretty strong. Tesla though, Tesla is down a wee bit, 0.82 at this point in time. And crypto, as we know, it is a red day. It's a red day on the crypto market. Oh boy. Now it's tradition here for me to grab us a little altcoin, and I like to just grab one that's the opposite color. So it's a red day. Let's grab some little green one. Oh, this tiny green one in here. Let's grab this. I don't know what this is. All right, so this here is Koinos. All right, all right. I don't know what Koinos is, guys. They're not worth, well, they're worth a little bit more than some of the altcoins we've grabbed in the past. They're worth basically roughly almost 1.2 cents, but no idea what this does. Looking at their picture is sort of looking at, what is that, a tesseract in their picture? So like a 4D, a representation of a 4D cube. But yeah, Koinos, what do they do? No idea. This is kind of this thing. There's, like I said, there's more than 15,000 of these. I call them crap coins. And the reason I call them that is, well, a lot of times if you're investing in some of these strange little coins, it's pretty much like going to the casino and throwing the dice at the craps table. Chances are you're not going to win. It is always slanted in the house's favor. Same idea with these guys. I like these even less than penny stocks. So be careful if you're gonna dabble in these guys. At least read the white paper. At least do a lot of research. Make sure it makes sense. Make sure it makes sense. To me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. In fact, if I want to make money on crypto, I'm gonna stick to the big coins. Your Bitcoins, your Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano, and gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin. All right, we got 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes to the bell. Let's bring up Big Me. Oh boy, you guys are already well on your way in the chat. Let's jump in and join you. We're starting off with Jonathan. Am I late for Christmas debt? No, no, you're not. So yeah, one of the big stories that broke today is Visa released some of their data, and well, their Christmas sales are up 4.4% year over year compared to next year. Now, keep in mind there has been inflation. So, are they really up? Because this data does not account for inflation. Now, inflation is probably closer to 2%. So. It's not as impressive, but we are still seeing a little bit. We're still seeing a little bit of extra spending, and Jonathan's right. Probably some extra debt taking as well. Online sales increased by 7%, so that's not too shabby. I'm actually surprised. I will say this. One of the things I was really surprised is that 88% of the people who they were looking at on Visa were making their purchases in store. I'm like, what? I was really shocked. I really didn't think that many people were shopping in store anymore. A lot more people are buying in brick and mortar stores than I thought. And the other 12% are online. Well, I actually thought it was closer. If you had asked me before I saw this data, what do you think the data is? I would have thought it was closer to 60-40. Now, the 60 being in store, but I didn't realize it was still skewed quite a bit in that direction. So, unless, and maybe this is just me thinking this, but maybe people are worried like, okay, if I order it online, will I get it in time for Christmas? So maybe that's the reason people are going to the stores, because then you don't have to worry about that. So I thought that was just kind of an interesting piece of data for sure. All right, Azenio says, decent day for my Utes ENCL positions. Was hoping for a dip to buy more. Tech and S&P were mostly flat. Yeah, for the most part. Tech did move up a little bit though. And that certainly helped keep the S&P on the green side for sure. But yeah, no, it wouldn't be a bad day for Utes or any oil. Well, Utes, of course, Utes isn't oil, but ENCL, definitely. So we did have WTI up. So not a bad day across the board. Cowboy is in the house. We got a greetings all. Scott says happy Christmas Eve, everyone. There we go. Or as I said earlier, Christmas Eve squared. Christmas Eve squared. Why not? Ian says, heard rumors, but today I think I saw a credible source say bank distribution has been raised from 11 to 12 a month. If I was not so hungover, I would have jumped for joy. Yes, we looked at that yesterday on the market close. We actually pulled that up. So yes, confirmed. Confirmed. Bank is now paying 12 cents a month. So that's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Let's see, that 4% is inflation. You're not getting anything extra. Yeah, we talked about that. So if inflation is 2% or 2.2%, most of that is inflation. So yeah, absolutely. Definitely something you want to take into consideration when you're looking at price data year over year. Is inflation calculated in? That's always important. One of the things I like to see, and they did not provide this with this report, is I like to look at volume. Did the volume of transactions change? Because that's a really good indication too. So, Scratch says, greetings all. Silver and platinum to new all-time highs today. Grandma's cutlery never looked that great. Nice. I like it. Vic is in the house with a happy holidays. Some winners, but trade desk killing me. TTD. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, and I still I've not really paid any attention to the trade desk. I gotta check it out. I do have to check it out. Mario says, hello, everyone. Morley said, I just got my first semi-weekly 60 dividends this morning on Questrade. Paid 21 cents per share. Yep. I got mine. Was it yesterday? I think I got it yesterday. Now that is that was actually on Wealthsimple, because that's what I'm doing right now. Is anybody who uses the affiliate code to get over on Wealthsimple, well, it gives me $25 and you get $25, and I'm just turning it into a 60. I'm turning it into a 60. Well, almost a 60, because 60 is now more than $25. Speaking of that code, let me just drop it down here for you guys in case you want it. So if you have not tried Wealthsimple, here's the affiliate code. I'm just dropping it into chat. Check it out. It's free money. I like free money, and it does support the channel, so I like that too. I like everything, I guess. Morley says, meant money. All right. Elaine says, good afternoon. I finished my nap just in time. Nice. Here's a question. How many of you are nappers? I'm not a napper. I am awake I'm awake other than when I sleep. I sleep good, but I don't nap in the day at all. I mean, I don't even think I can nap. Chad says naps are good. So obviously, Elaine and Chad are nappers. Let's see. Wishing everyone a very safe and joyful Xmas. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. I mean, and you know what? And here, I know right now, there's going to be some of you who are here today who are not going to be at tomorrow's market close, and you're not going to be at the Christmas Day show because you're spending that time with your family. So let me just say right now to you guys, have a really happy holidays. I hope you have a really good time. And I will always say this, guys. Just because I'm on the air doesn't mean you have to watch me, because family does come first when it comes to the holidays. And, you can always wait until, all the presents are eaten. You've had your bacon and eggs and all the mess has been cleaned up and the dishes have been done, and there's nothing to do later in the afternoon and everything's closed. Then you can always pull up the replay. You can always pull up the replay for sure. Scott says Tesla had some bad news about their door handles. Oh, I did not hear that. Uh-oh. Guys. Oh no. I had been on a Oh, yeah, that was lackluster because I missed it by 4 minutes. 5 minutes, pretty much 5 minutes, guys. I had been so good. I have not missed it in like, oh gosh, almost 2 weeks. Like almost 2 weeks, but on Christmas Eve squared, I fell. Sorry, Mary. I know Mary will be disappointed in me for missing it. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yes, yes. Here we go. The bell, the bell, the bell. We don't do the bell no more? Yeah, we still do. I just absolutely dropped the bell. I dropped the bell today. Tim says, turkey incoming. My clothes are about to be hit with serious inflation. There we go. Mary, there we go. Speaking of the Mary, Mary is here. And guys, she is also not just the official I'm going to scowl at Candace for missing the bell girl. She's also the captain of she's the official captain of our like button. So if you have not yet hit the like button, I probably don't deserve it because I missed the bell, but please do me a solid nonetheless. Hit that like button. The algorithm will love you for it and love the channel for it. And while you guys are doing that, I get to have some coffee, so we all win. Oh, very good. And Chad, no mo bells. I love that. We almost need a t-shirt that says no mo bells. That's kind of catchy. Cowboy says my online purchases have been a mess due to the seller shipping with UPS. They are a disaster. They classify my address as a post office box. It is not. They want extra to deliver. Holy banana bread. Yeah, that's not good. And oh, guys, we got a super sticker, not a super sticker, a super chat coming in here from Scratch for $2. So first of all, right away, that makes Scratch our first goat of the day. It gets us one closer to a Monday show. So that's fantastic. Yeah, and let's see, for the bell. Oh, yes, I can't believe I missed the bell. That's, what can I say? What can I say? All right. Let's see. Ian says, I try to nap when I can. All right. And let's see, Cowboy, going for the record of Mrs. The Bell time. The record's 10 minutes. We and this happened like quite literally just before this good streak. I had that one day where I missed it by 10 whole minutes. Today it was 5. So I'm not going to miss the bell tomorrow. It's way too important. Tomorrow, well, it's the beginning of Christmas, right? So it's like a time for bells. It's a time for bells. All right. And Zenial, I'm on team nap, says Luke. Oh my gosh. Yeah, team nap. What can I say? I don't know what it is. Like, I will tell you guys something. When I wake up in the morning, if I go back to bed, if I'm fully awake and I go back to bed and I fall asleep again, I just don't feel right when I wake up. My whole day is off. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, but yeah, I just and I can't nap for the like of me. Normally at night, I guess at night when I'm really, really tired and I feel like I'm nodding off, even then I don't nap. I just go to bed. Yeah, I don't know. Scott says, I think P.O. boxes are bigger than some of those downtown Toronto condos. Yeah. Yeah. I am going to look into that probably in 2026, getting a post office box for the channel. So if you guys ever want to send me like, I don't know, a bookmark from Saskatoon or something you want me to show on the air, we'll have that option. We'll have that option. And heck, if we get a bunch of stuff, we could always do like openings. We could do like a live stream for opening. Oh, that could be embarrassing. That could be embarrassing. I don't know what you guys would ever send. So, but I'm just saying, I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about doing that for 2026. Somewhere is probably towards the second half. I don't see it being an early part of the year. Um, Andre says, from your 7 worst cover call list video of 2025, HHIS holds a few of them. What is your... All right, so what is my... I think it says, what is my opinion on HHIS? I do like HHIS. And here's the thing, with these Harvest the single stock ones, and this is kind of where a lot of the worst ones were some of those single stock ones. And yes, when you are holding a single stock, if that company is struggling, yeah, that ETF is going to suffer big time. And that's what we saw. We saw a lot of that in that list video. Those single stocks pulling things down. So what I like about HHIS is that, well, they're holding a whole bunch of those. And the ones that are not doing so badly, that sort of bolsters it up completely. So I like it for that reason. Now, if after watching that video and you're looking at the single stocks, and let's say you're rethinking the single stock variation, well, there are other options out there. So for example, Evolve has Biggie. We were talking about this the other day. So Biggie, they're not holding single stocks, single stock ETFs. They're holding the actual stocks as well. So it kind of works. It all ends up working out. It's just that when you have more diversification, then you're not being pulled down. So HHIS, yeah, they're holding MSTE, but it's not pulling them down only because they, it's balanced out with all the ones that are doing better. And there are some of them that are doing better. And when we get into, if we get into a giant pump, especially in technology, that's mostly what that fund holds. A lot of them are technology. There's a few outside of it, like Eli Lilly, for example. And this is the interesting thing too. So Harvest, as they add more of their single stocks, if they start branching out into more and more different categories outside of technology, and then bring those into HHIS, they could even really start ramping up. They could start ramping up that diversification. And I like that. I like that potential as well. Paul is in the house with a good afternoon. GTA condos are referred to as dog crates. Yeah. I did live, I very briefly, no, wait a minute, that was not Toronto. I was going to say I lived in a Toronto condo. No, it was a Vancouver. That one was Vancouver. It was pretty small. Like if you were to look at a regular apartment, I thought it was small compared to a regular apartment, but it was a condo. I was renting a room in it at the time. So, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. I imagine if you got a condo in some place like Saskatoon, it's probably a lot bigger, for sure. Let's see. Andre says, from your worst, let's see here. Okay, from your worst 2025 cover call list, HHIS holds a few of them. All right, and that we just talked about. HHIS forecast for 2026. Hold, buy, or sell. Okay, there's the rest of your question. I just assumed what your question was last time. I still like HHIS. It's not... I wouldn't say sell it. I would call it, at the very least, I would call it a hold. If we get a little bit of a retraction in technology, so if technology like maybe starts the year off a little slower, not a bad time to start adding to something like HHIS. So I do like HHIS. I do think that technology still has a good way to go. And I also don't believe that we're in an AI bubble. I think there's because even if AI starts to take less of a center stage, we've got quantum computing that is waiting to move to center stage. So there's a lot I think, coming up. So I don't see technology as failing. And now I'm starting to look ahead to 2026 because I do a prediction video every year. And as I mentioned yesterday, for this year, I had predicted incorrectly. I had predicted a recession, and it didn't happen. I'm not predicting. I'm not predicting a recession for 2026. I think we're going to be fine. I think we're actually going to make it through the year. The Canadian market, it's just like, the fact that the TSX is defying everything possible, and the fact that even the US markets are defying what should have been a recession, I have a feeling that it's just not going to happen. And with the US, if there's no way that the current government, the current administration will let us go into a recession or let them go into a recession for the simple reason that you've got midterms coming up as well. So that's also going to take, it's going to take an interesting play on the table for sure. All right, and guys, we got ourselves another super chat. Let's let the chats continue. Yeah, for sure. And that is our second greatest of all time, Mr. Tom Smith, of course. And yeah, we're halfway. We're halfway to a Monday show. So looking good on that front. All right, let's get back to the comments. Here we are. MSTE is causing a drag on HHIS. Yeah, absolutely. MSTE is it's a tough one. It's a tough one for sure. And Cowboy saying HBTE is down 31% for me. Still not going to sell. I still like HBTE. Now I do have HBTE in the challenge, and at one point HBTE, when Bitcoin was really, really, really doing well, HBTE was over 100% in my total return. Now, right now in the challenge, just a second here, let me pull the challenge up. All right, I'm going to bring it over here. Where is HBTE right now? Right now, their total return is at 43.77%. So, now, mind you, with HBTE right now, my ACB on that is $13.50. So I did buy a lot of it before all of the initial pumping. So that has helped. That has helped for sure. All right. And London Gold, of course. London Gold, absolutely running away over there on the challenge. They're currently up 132%. So we are definitely doing good. Doing good on that one. Doing good on that one. All right. Paul, let's see here. Paul says, we had to call a plumber for blocked kitchen drain. I tried myself. P-trap wasn't blocked, and a 15 snake didn't do it. After the plumber got working, kitchen sink and dishwasher now. Added a clean out. Okay, okay. I'll tell you a funny little story. So I rented this place that had a dishwasher. And apparently it was a brand new dishwasher. So I was like, all right, cool. First time I used it, flooded my kitchen. So what it was is, so yeah, like the owner sent in his repair guy and he opened it up. So the pipe that goes from the dishwasher to the drain, well, they put the pipe in, but they didn't drill the hole in the drain for the pipe to actually empty into. So it basically the water had nowhere to go but out of the dishwasher. So yeah, that was a mess. That was a mess for sure. But the guy who came in, he just drilled the hole. He drilled the hole, put it back together, and everything was fine. Let's see. They need to put a P-trap in. Point to the back instead of the... All right. And then got a little bit more room under the sink. Okay, there we go. Cowboy says a Milwaukee air snake is a game changer for clearing blockages. I don't know what a Milwaukee air snake is. I know what a regular snake is. I've watched a plumber use one once. I think we had a really bad blockage back when I was a kid, and the plumber brought in a snake to get it fixed. but I've never heard of the Milwaukee air snake. Now, when I hear that name, it makes me almost think like like maybe the snake can pump air when it goes down. I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm wildly guessing on that one. Doorpat. Trump went on a long rant today. Okay, so it's a normal day. About the markets being crazy, and he needs a true Fed chair that would help make American markets great. Blah, blah. The post was just too long. It's on Blossom, too. Oh, boy. Yeah. Well, Trump wants Papa Pal to disappear, to leave the position. Now I think, and I can't remember exactly when, but I think pretty early in this year, his term is up, and then Trump will get his new chairman of the S&P of the U.S. Fed, and yeah, and Trump wants aggressive rate cuts. He wants aggressive rate cuts, so. We'll have to see how that's going to look. How that is going to look. Oh boy. Larry is in the house. Picked up a very large position in Cleveland Cliffs this morning. CLF. I don't think I've ever looked at Cleveland Cliffs. Let's take a gander here. Let's take a gander. Whoops, that's not the right place. This is the right place. All right. Let's just see here. CLF. All right, here we go. Cleveland Cliffs over here. So yeah, let's see. They're priced at $13.87. First thing I want to know, if I've never seen a company before, is I want to know what they do. So let's see. Oh, ooh, a steel producer. I like that right away. All right, steel products for the automotive industry. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. All right, so the company is vertically integrated from the mining of iron ore, production of pellets, and direct reduced iron and processing of ferrous scrap through primary steel making and downstream finishing. Okay. So, all right. I like, seems like they got a diversified process. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. Let's take an actual look at the company itself. First of all, how have they been doing in the last year? All right. So they're kind of moving all over the place a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, they are up. You've got, other than this little spike, it's mostly higher highs, so that's kind of cool. On the back end, let's see here. All right, well, I don't like this part. I don't like the negative return on equity. Their debt to equity ratio as well. They've got a lot of debt, so 147%. All right, now, this is kind of that thing. Larry knows something about this company that we probably don't know, because obviously Larry's done some research on it. Otherwise, he wouldn't be taking a large position on it. So that would be kind of interesting. So maybe there's stuff going on that we're unaware of. And you can always just take a quick gander at the news. So let's see here. Let's see, Edison Camara. So that's an appointment. Let's see, announces... let's see, counterparty. So, okay, something to do with the Korea trade agreement. But yeah, I would definitely this is something I would want to dig into a little bit deeper. So, and I'm sure that's what Larry has done to figure out. So I'm thinking you're looking at this as a play, Larry. I think you're seeing something that the rest of us aren't yet seeing, and you're going to play that. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this. All right. Let's see. Paul says, they used some Milwaukee snake things. They had a bigger one, but it wouldn't go far enough with all of the turns. Okay. Ian says, last time I went on vacation for 3 months. When I came back, almost every sink in the house was clogged. Had to have a talk with my daughter. Uh-oh, a lot of hair, I'm thinking. A lot of hair. Baking powder and vinegar solves most blockages. All right. Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. A good Tuesday, all. And Cowboy says, Air Snake is a portable compressor with attachments to fit drains. Blast the crap out of the pipe. Okay. That sounds kind of cool. All right. Scratch is pointing out to Larry that SID looks awesome for a major breakout. You play the BRL USD currencies at the same time. Larry says, okay, the CEO is friends with Trump. Uh-oh. That can sometimes be good right in this environment. Lots of exclusive deals with the government partnering with South Korea's POSCO and Hanwha for building the 25 Trump-class ships, 15 submarines, and all the frigates destroyers. Ah, there we go. There we go. And that's kind of that part of the picture I did not have. That could be interesting. That could absolutely be interesting for sure. Paul says, if you work part-time and they call you in to cover someone sick, sometimes it works in your favor in BC. If you work 15 days in the last 30 before a stat, you get the paid stat. And if scheduled 1.5 times. Okay, cool. I wish YouTube would pay me double the AdSense for streaming on Christmas Day, but they're not gonna still. Larry says all car contracts for South Korea, Japan, Tesla, Ford, Stellantis will be using their steel for cars. There we go. That could be very interesting for sure. Michelle says hello from the West Coast. Well, hello West Coast. Getting stat pay for December 25th and January 1st, and 1.5 for working on the 1st. All right, Tesla. A Trump class, an oxymoron. Yeah, what can I say? What can I say? Well, we got 3 more years of making fun of Trump. I can say that much. Oh, oh, what will he do next? That's always the question, for sure. Oh gosh, so good. So very good. Um, yeah. Oh, guys. So today I did drop that video, the one with 9 points. So I wanted to point one thing out, because I know sometimes when you see sponsored video, and I will tell you guys, if you see a video is sponsored by anyone, you got to take that into consideration. But I will point one thing out. I thought this was really, really interesting in regards to this video. I submitted it, of course, we filmed it, and then, of course, I edited it, all of that fun stuff, and I submitted over to their compliance group, which is basically lawyers. Absolutely nothing I said got edited. I loved it. I loved it. It was, I thought that was fantastic. So, when it comes to things like this, and I'll always tell you guys, if you guys want to know, if I've got an edited video and you're like, Candace, did they make you change anything that you said? I'll tell you. And I'll tell you guys. But in this case here, nothing was changed. So I stand by everything I said in the video. It's actually it's really a good video. I mean, yes, 9 Points sponsored me for it, but we really steered the conversation towards, what split cores are, how they work, and yes, maybe in terms of NPS, but that's kind of it's kind of a basic formula across split cores. So it does really give you a pretty good view into split cores, and I actually really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and the funny thing is, guys. So at the end of that conversation, when I said goodbye and I turned off the recording. Well, we must have talked for like an additional 15 minutes, and there were things that we were talking about that I was just like, darn it, I really wish I was recording this stuff, because this stuff would have been cool too to include. But they were a couple of cool dudes. They were pretty cool, and we had a great conversation. So anyway, check it out. I think it's a fantastic conversation. I think you guys will love it. All right, back to the chat. Doorpat feels like he has been in office for 5 years. Can't believe we have 3 more to ensure. Well, here's the thing. Yes, it feels like it's been a long time. But if you really think about it, he had his first term, 4 years, and then we had Biden for 4 years. But he never shut up during that 4 years. I mean, he was front and center all the way through that. So in a way, it almost felt like he was still there. So in a way, it's like it's like we're on year 9. It kind of is. And I have a feeling, unless his health gives out on him, I have a feeling once this term is finished, he's probably still going to he's going to still be at it. It might take a few more years before he starts to fade into memory, but I just know one thing. Um, the way things are looking right now in the States, the Democrats will probably win the next presidency. And that president will probably spend most of that term just trying to undo all of the stuff that Trump has done. Um, yeah, it could be. I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it. Actually, I think one of the people who does want it is Newsom from California. I think he's planning to run for the Democrats. So we'll have to see how that's all going to look down the road. Down the road, that could be interesting. Cowboy says, I usually did the Christmas shifts so the others could watch their kids tear into the presents. My kids were growing. Yeah, yeah. I know when I was university age, I used to always take the Christmas shifts because I'd be like, you know what, I'll take the Christmas shifts. Anybody who has kids, they can at least be home with their kids type thing. So yeah, yeah. And I mean, the fact that you got paid, double time or time and a half, depending on which province you were in, not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. And actually, one of the best ones. So when I was in university, I was working in a group home. That was my part-time job on the side, and pretty much I just had to be there. So it was like, so the actual group home. It wasn't like troubled teens or anything like this. It was actually adults with developmental disabilities or, just developmental issues. So I would be there just to sort of help them out, cook for them, things like that. And quite literally, I mean, Christmas Day, um, I was there for the whole day. I took the entire day, and it was basically me, the 3 residents, and we actually watched Star Wars. We watched all 3 movies, the original trilogy. Um, and that's what we did. And I got paid for that. I was like, fantastic. I mean, by the time the movies were finished, of course, we had to stop for me to make them lunch and then supper and all of that. But yeah, that was one of the best jobs I think as a young person at one point. And I know we're on a tangent. We're on a tangent, but at one point, me and a couple of the other people who worked there, we came up with this idea of be like, it'd be great to take them on a vacation. We could like go on a long driving trip to Prince Edward Island. And so we brought it up and we brought it across, and they went for it. So we actually we went off for a week, and it was a road trip. We drove from basically from Halifax all the way up, all the way through Prince Edward Island, and it was fantastic. And the beautiful thing is, we got paid for it at the same time. Anyway, how did I even get there? Oh, Cowboy and his Christmas shifts. All right, let's get back to the chat. Larry says, with interest rates inevitable drop with new chair stooge next year, expect car sales to increase. Cleveland Cliffs only company they can sign with to avoid sanctions for steel frames in the USA. Yeah, it's going to be like 2026 is going to be very, very interesting. We also have Kuzma. Kuzma's coming up, and we're going to have to see. Oh boy, that's going to be a bit of a mess. So even now with Kuzma, the U.S. has a lot of demands. They're not bad demands. Like basically, first of all, they want us to start selling U.S. alcohol again. They want us to negotiate with them a fair deal with dairy, which, of course, we're not allowed to do because there's actually a law against that. That was that private members bill that got passed, the one that came from the Bloc Québécois. So that's kind of off the table, but that's kind of one of their demands. Also, all of those online streaming acts, all of the online digital acts, they want that. Pretty much they want those axed. So. And there was something else. I thought there was something else in there as well. Now Canada, of course, we want sectorial deals. Like, obviously we want to sort of alleviate the issue we're having with the auto industry. We want to alleviate some of these tariffs when it comes to steel and aluminum. But we'll have to see how this is all going to unwrap it. It could be very interesting for sure. I should go big screen. Unless I'm actually showing you the screen. I should be big screen. What am I doing? Ian says, would be nice to receive a membership for Christmas. Oh, yeah, well, hopefully. Hopefully that happens. And I know you were mentioning this the other day, Ian, and then somebody went and gifted 5 memberships, and I was hoping for you, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So what can I say? All right. Larry says the Trump-class battleships were announced to be made out of steel, not aluminum. Last night, first 2 Trump-class battleships expected to be finished in 2 years. Next week, he is forcing production by not allowing companies building ships and parts to have dividends, buybacks, or giant CEO packages in a meeting next week. Oh boy, yeah, a Trump-class warship. Is it going to be made of gold? I'm just wondering. Let's see. We'll force them to make more facilities or have companies taken by the U.S. government and president or emergency power since we are technically still in the war on terror. Oh, boy. Yeah, I know. That's interesting. That's interesting. Oh. Every time I think he's not going to do anything else, he does something else. So, no, well, we'll see where this is all going to end. You know, as it is, we still have the potentiality here of a war on Venezuela. So, oh boy. Patricia is in the house with a hi. Hello there. Newsom, that's a scary thought. Definitely a polar opposite of Trump for sure. Let's see. Trump awarded Cleveland Cliffs a lot of free funding to update facilities and pay off. I guess that might be debt, and build a strategic steel supply. Okay, yeah. So that's an interesting thing too. So when we were looking at them, and actually they're still up. They're still up right here. One of the things that I had noticed as well is we were looking here, like, they have a lot of debt. So 147% debt to equity ratio. Now, this is at the last time they reported, and I don't know when the last time they reported was. Yes, they need to put that date on here. That's what they need. I need dates. I need dates to know when that would be a really useful thing to have. But I wonder, you know what? Let's CLF. Let's go over to Yahoo. I think Yahoo, we can actually get an idea. All right, here we go. Cleveland Cliffs. Perfect. All right, let's bring this up. And I think with Yahoo, if I go into financials, I might be able to get a date. Let's go quarterly here. All right, let's see here. All right, 2025. So yeah, the last date was from September. So if all of this money has been pushed through with Trump, their debt could be, like, these numbers could be significantly different. So their next one, I'm just looking from last year, they had one at the end, basically the last day of the year last year. So maybe, that's the date that's the end of that quarter. So we're probably going to get another one of these earlier in the year, and that's going to give us better information. So yeah, this one here, 9/30, that's the last one that we have based on that quarter. So yeah, that could be significantly different. For sure. Okay. Moving ahead to Cowboy. Newsom sent the firefighting equipment for other states to emission testing while the state burned. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any information on any of that. Did you see Tom's $2 for the chats? Yeah, he got a goat. He got a goat. So yeah, we're currently two away from a Monday show. But yeah, Tom got a goat. Ian, just buy a membership, says Paul. Ian can't. He can't because he's got pesos. So unless Ian can work around that pesos, Ian can't do it. That's kind of why he's like saying, "Somebody please." I wish this is one of the limitations on YouTube is with their gifted membership. It's random, no control. It would be fantastic, and this is something I have a couple of surveys that I've filled out for YouTube because they do internal surveys every so often. I always keep saying, give me the ability to gift a membership to a specific individual. Because, in a case like this, Ian has been here, Ian's been here for a long time. And if it were possible, because, where he can't buy it because of the peso thing, yeah, Ian is somebody who, I would potentially just single out and say, all right, let's drop this one on Ian. But, it's a situation where depending on the algorithm, you could sit here and you could gift 100 subs and not hit Ian. You probably would hit him, to be honest, because I think the algorithm looks at how active you are. And I think I don't know how it calculates it, but for the most part, a lot of times when people are gifting the memberships, they do tend to go to people who are here, not necessarily active. In some cases, it's the lurkers, and that's fine. I mean, the lurkers are awesome too. All right, Lisa says, stop being cheap, folks, and buy a membership, even if it's just for a few months. Okay, there we go. Lisa's putting her foot down. Mary might have an apprentice on her hands. She might. Larry says, Trump-class battleships were announced with the Golden Fleet. I knew gold had to be in there somewhere. Yeah, and that's Ian can't buy a membership. Yeah. In Ian's case, he's got Ian's living in Colombia, so they use, of course, they use pesos, and because of that, it won't, for whatever reason. This is actually more on YouTube that they're not accepting pesos. So I don't know why. I don't know why, because obviously, I don't think that should be an issue. YouTube, listen to me. Fix it. Let's see. Paul says Carney is no better than Trump. Oh boy. SB, is SDAY like SCHD? Looking for a stabilizer in my RRSP. Would SDAY do that? Yeah. So SDAY, they're not, well, when you're thinking of SCHD, so SCHD doesn't have covered calls. That it's just, but similar stocks, yeah, they're fairly similar when it comes to what they're holding. But SDAY is aggressive when it comes to their cover call. So they're what's called 0 day to expire, so 0 DTE. Basically, in a nutshell, it's like they're doing a lot of day trading with SDAY. So they actually day trade because they're looking at super short options in there. And they're obviously all going to more than likely be at the money. So, and that, of course, helps them create that, they have a semi-monthly payout. So, yeah, they are like SCHD, but they're completely not at the same time, if that makes any sense. Bismarck, he says, I have a feeling China is going to get involved in this whole Venezuela thing. That's always a danger. That is always a danger. Yeah, I mean, Venezuela, I believe, yeah, they're a member of OPEC as well. So, I have a feeling it won't be an easy thing for Trump. If Trump decides to go into Venezuela, I think it'll be messy, messy, messy for sure. Paul says, Trump doing what is best for the USA, Carney doing what is best for Brookfield. Oh, boy. Poor Carney. Cowboy is agreeing. So is Scratch. Why can't Ian buy a membership? That's weird. Yeah, it is weird. It is weird. Like I said, I don't know. I have never really had to deal with pesos before, so you know. S-Day is nothing like SCHD. Read the websites for each. Yeah, like they are very different, but they do hold some of the same underlying, but they are absolutely different. So, like I said before, S-Day, you've got covered calls, you've got the zero, you got basically day trading levels of covered calls because it's 0 day to expires. That's the length of time that's on these options. So, yeah, so it is day trading. It's a form of day trading. All right. Now, mind you, you're not day trading if you're holding S-Day. Just to be just to be clear of that, they're doing the day trading. You're just basically you're just enjoying the distributions. All right. Scott says, we can't support Canadian dairy farmers. It's not fair. Trump can give steel companies free funding. Yeah, yeah. And the dairy thing, I mean, and this is the funny thing, like, Trump is convinced that we have 400% tariffs on him. We've got some, yeah, we have some pretty big tariffs, but, here's the thing. It's only if you get to a certain amount, like, if they import a certain amount before any of the tariffs even take place. So, and they don't hit that amount. They don't even come close. So right now, they're not actually getting tariffed. U.S. Dairy's not getting tariffed at all. It's just there's not a big demand for it. That's kind of what it boils down to. So, I don't know. It's a funny situation. Paul says a credit card usually converts the creator's currency to your currency. Am I wrong? Um, Not sure how that works with pesos. So, yeah, I don't know. All right. Oh, guys, I'm gonna jump ahead here. We get a super sticker coming in from Mugsy. So that's our fourth goat. We got our third goat. That's our third goat. Our third goat is in the barn, in the enclosure, whatever we're going to call it. But thank you very much, Mugsy. And if that's not enough, we got a super sticker coming in from Paul as well for $1. And that's goat number 4. So all the goats are now accounted for. That means we got the Monday show. Monday show in the book. Fantastic. We don't have to worry about that. Now there's a fifth goat, the dancing goat. So if any of you want to see the dancing goat, oh boy, that goat. If we get one more, the fifth goat does come out. Oh boy. And I think this dancing goat is only going to be around today and tomorrow because, when Christmas is past, I'll have to come up. I'll have to get something else, another strange one for that reason. But all right, anyway, the dancing goat. All right, let's see here. All right, let's see where. Oh, all right, there we go. I just need to find where I was at, and we're at Michael. Hello, Candace. Can I ask what you consider an acceptable profit margin, 10 to 20% for a swing trade? That's a great question. And a lot of times the swing for me is really dependent on the trade. And I'll give you an example. So this morning, I opened up a trade. I opened up a swing trade in Tesla. So, and I was using the CDR, but nonetheless, I really didn't want to hold Tesla beyond today. My goal was a simple 1-day trade. Well, Tesla didn't do so great today, but I did get out when they were up a little bit. And in this case here, because I didn't want to hold them past today. I want to wait for a better position. I took a small profit, like $63 profit. And I was okay with that. I was absolutely okay with that. Normally, I go for a much larger profit. But it comes down to that individual situation. So a lot of times, if everything is fine, a lot of times I jump in and I'm hoping for $1,000 profit. But depending on what the market's doing, I will modify that along the way. I will throw in Like if I'm looking for $1,000 profit, I usually will throw in that stop loss after I'm at about $500. Then sometimes they will retrace on me and hit my stop loss. And that I'm okay with that. Like I said, I'm okay with that. For me, a successful swing trade is if I make $1, it's technically a success because it's in the green. But yeah, it is really dependent. Like I like to, once I get to a certain amount, I will throw in my stop loss, and my goal is to just slowly move that stop loss up as the price continues to grow through the day. And sometimes that doesn't happen, and that's fine. So I don't have a fixed amount. Like I'm not saying I want 10 to 20%. Now, let me give you an example. Let me give you another example here. We've been looking at this one stock for a little while. I've got it charted, and we have followed it, since I charted it, and it has stayed to the channel. So here it is, EXE. So here is that channel. So we actually drew this channel, guys, back around here, and it came down and it broke through, but it came right back into the channel. Now it's kind of doing the same thing. Heck, we could probably extend this channel. Let me just do that. Extend. And I'm going to extend here as well. So yeah, it's still respecting the channel. So in a case like this, if this was my target, so EXE, Extendicare, I am looking at, if you notice I've got these two little purples in here. I'm going to drag these down here too. All right, so these purples for me, when I play a channel, I don't play the edges of the channel because I may not always hit the edges of the channel. I like to come in a little bit. And so roughly, if you look at these purple, that's kind of where I would be playing this. So if I was in on this trade right now, I would be looking to buy somewhere around 21.83, and then I would have been looking to sell probably around 22.20. So in this case here, unless I'm really getting a lot of them, I'm not going to get a huge profit. But that's just because this is where the channel is. So that is going to dictate for me what that percentage is going to be. So for me, basically, I'm going to try to buy around the purple bottom line and sell around the purple top line. And whatever that percentage works out to be, that's the perfect percentage for that trade. Now, the other trade and I already mentioned this, we're going to go into the CDR. So here's the CDR. This is what this here is currently the move that Tesla is currently in. So buying down towards the bottom of this, and I don't have the extra lines in here, but buying down, like right now, we're not at a bad spot to buy. I still want it out for one reason. In a trade that's on an upward move like this, the chances of them breaking out can sometimes be pretty good. So I don't want to hold this over the holidays. I'd rather just see how this progresses. But if and let me grab let's see here. I'm just going to grab a brush. If this continues, we could potentially see it come up here, then come back down here and come back up. That's potential. So that's a potential move that we could see with Tesla. Now this here is the CDR because I trade it because it's cheaper. If you look at the real Tesla, you'll see it's the exact same shape. So it's doing the exact same thing because that's just what it does. Okay. Now I just realized when I'm in the pen part, I can't drag it. It just draws instead. But yeah, so this is something that I would be looking at. Now tomorrow I probably won't open a position with a half day. I probably won't open a position in the morning at all. But, we'll see. I mean, if I get a really good opportunity, maybe. But I'm sort of looking. So one of the things that also with this is like, all right, so it did reflect, this time it did reflect this, reflect it. So, well, I guess reflect it, but it did support it. So there is a good chance it will probably go up. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay as long as that is what keeps happening. But I would not be surprised when it gets here if we do get a breakdown, or even a break up. I mean, if it were to break up, that's just, it would then probably break up and then form a new pattern. And I would play that pattern because you can sort of see, let's actually here, there we go. Now I can drag it. I don't need but you can sort of see that in this case here, I've had multiple patterns. In this case here, you'll see it did actually break down. It formed a new pattern in here, broke up, and then it kind of formed a bit of an upward pattern, broke up again, formed a new pattern. That's kind of those things that I'm charting. I'm charting it, I'm finding it. Once I have my pattern, I'm locked in. I lock myself in and I kind of like play it. So sometimes, if I see that it's going to move up, yeah, I want it. So in this case here, so let's say I bought in right now. So this would be $43. I would be looking to sell probably about there, around, around $44. So that would be $1,000 move. That would be $1,000 move. And the reason I say $1,000 is because I would buy 1,000 of them. So $1 change in price in this, that's $1,000. So that's the way I would play that one. And that, of course, that's a bigger percentage. So very, very specific to what you're playing. And if you're charting, hopefully you're charting. If you're swing trading, I would recommend at least doing a little bit of charting. You don't have to do any of the fancy stuff. You don't need your head and shoulders. You don't need your teacups. You just want your basic support. So you can find, if you can find a channel, it's easier to play in. Now, just keep in mind, it will break out eventually, and you have to have a contingency for that. But while it's in that channel, it's pretty easy to just play it until it breaks out. Anyway, so that's how I run it. Paul says, Ian, buy a Play Store gift card, or that will be in peso too. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Larry wants to know what is SID, and that's for Scratch. Trump battleships with golden sails, just like his hair in the wind. You see it as I do. That would be funny. That would absolutely be funny. Cowboy says, hope those ships don't follow the way of the Trump casinos right to the bottom, or they may be submarines. Got it. All right. Cowboy, let's see, Trump's hair care budget would probably cover half of the Canadian debt. Yeah. Yeah. If you use, say, eBay and the seller is a different currency, your credit card does the conversion. Okay. All right. Like I said, I don't know. I don't ask. I just I just accept whatever we got. Let's see. I couldn't say SCHD or SDAY are appropriate for the RRSP. Yeah, you see, in this case here, it's kind of an interesting thing. So yeah, with SDAY, by putting it into your RRSP, yeah, you are paying 100% taxes on it. So, because SDAY itself is actually it's quite tax efficient. So it's not a bad one for, well, for your TFSA, you don't have to worry about taxes at all. But if you put it in a non-registered account, at least it's tax efficient because you are going to get some return of capital in there. You're going to get some capital gains. So it's not bad. It's not bad for being outside of that. All right. Mark says, great channel. I bought HSLV cheaply out of fun speculation. It's silver exploration. Is it too early to be optimistic? Let's actually take a look at this one. HSLV. I'm bullish. I'm very bullish on silver. I am definitely very bullish on silver. So that's a pretty cool thing. Yeah, look at this today. This one's up 4.51%. I'm going to pull up the 1 year on it. Yeah, this has been moving pretty good. Now, it's, well, I wouldn't call it a penny stock anymore. If you go back further than 1 year, like if we go back 3 years, then yeah, it was a penny stock at one point, but they are doing okay. They're doing okay now. I think I would still call them penny adjacent, but nonetheless, silver right now is in high demand. Silver has been doing fantastic, and that is working out for them. I don't know if we got any real back-end data, but let's take a look here. All right, so yeah, they do have their return on equity is still in the can. It's still negative, so negative 21.42. that indicates that they're not yet profitable. But if they keep moving the way they're going, that could change pretty quickly. So is this one I would go all in on? No. But if you're playing it for a speculation stock with some of your fun money, that's what I like to call it, fun money, your play money, it's not a bad choice. I don't think it's a bad choice for that. All right, let's see. The dairy quota is not smart. We dump milk that could be used. Yeah, when I actually learned about the milk dumping, I was just like, what? Seriously? There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that could use that milk. Luke says, I'm legging into UMAX. It has a lot of rails, telcos, and pipelines. 3 areas that have been soft all year that I have my eye on. Well, a lot of like telcos for sure. I'm always bullish on pipelines. I think I don't know if 2026 is going to be their year, but I think their year is coming for sure. I do think the telcos will do a little better in 2026. I'm not expecting a banner year or anything, but I think we will see a little bit of movement to the upside for the Canadian telecommunications sector for sure. Ian says, I can't remember the exact problem with me buying a membership. Might look at it later, unless someone wants to try to gift me one. Look at that. Look at Ian. Please, please, please buy me a bowl of porridge, somebody. I love it. It works. Doing a Christmas show. Yes, I will be here. It's actually, I'll mention this again, guys. We're going to do the Christmas show. I'm moving it ahead an hour to 11 p.m. Eastern for the simple reason that it makes it a bit easier for those of you on the West Coast. A cowboy don't want American milk because they allow bovine growth hormone in their herds. Yeah. No, I mean, the rules and regulation on milk is more favorable for health in Canada, in my opinion, for sure. Paul says, so Ian's problem is living part-time in Mexico, but with a Canadian credit card. ChatGPT says that will not work, and YouTube will detect a VPN, so that will not work either. Okay. Interesting. Larry says, lost on Cleveland Cliffs. They're moving into mining rare earth on land they already own. Okay. Well, that could be very interesting for them as well. Scratch says, I'm holding CLF for the long run for sure. Yeah, CLF looks very interesting now. Just knowing, and that's the thing, guys. Sometimes some of the best plays that you can make is when you're looking at the news, you're seeing the way that the dominoes are starting to line up. Sometimes that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. Scratch says, all commodities will do great in the coming years. Agreed. Commodities are going to be huge. Huge, absolutely. And that is going to be one of the reasons I think the TSX will do really well next year too, because, gold mining, all of that really helped push up the TSX this year. That's the reason that we are at 29% year-to-date total return, or not total return, return on investment. I believe that is not taking into account the dividends. Scott says the commodities were my favorite Motown group. I think that was the Commodores, but that's fine. Brian says, good afternoon, everyone. Just getting home. I still need to shovel snow after the stream. Yeah, it was, I can't tell now. It's dark outside, but it was snowing pretty good here most of the afternoon. So there could be some shoveling around Ottawa for sure. Let's see. Scratch says, looks like play will close above all-time highs. IVN will be good with the Platte Reef mine. Yeah, their exposure to copper is going to really push them up as well. All right, Luke says, Utes doesn't hold the rails, so I'm sticking with UMAX. I'm wanting to buy the rails, so UMAX works for me. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Sergey says, any thoughts about TDAQ, TSPY? Not really, but let's take a look. Let's take a look. We'll go with, we'll start with TDAY. All right, so this here is USA Today. USA Today, it looks like. I think I got the right one. I think I got the right one here. All right. And T-Spy, yeah. I mean, I've heard of T-Spy. I just Haven't really looked a lot into them at all. But all right, so this here is your USA Today. Good old publication. I'm pulling up. I'm gonna go to the 3-year on this one here. So for the most part, I mean, this is kind of an interesting thing. So you've got this big blob in the middle. That's fine, but they seem to be moving up a little bit. But what? Yeah, it's interesting. Like I would want to do a little more research to find out what's going on. But let me just take a quick gander. All right, they don't have a dividend, and I want to see their back end data. Ooh, all right. I see some stuff in here. I see some stuff I like, and I see some stuff I don't like. And the stuff I like may be skewed, so I may not like it as much. So first of all, return on equity, 44.25%. That would get me excited. However, return on equity can get skewed up by huge levels of debt. And I look at their debt to equity ratio, 596%. Oh my God, that's a lot. So they've got a lot of debt. That's skewing things up. They are profitable, but I think they have a debt problem. That would have me a little bit concerned about, oh, wait a minute. I'm totally looking at something wrong. I'm looking at T-Day. You put, you went T-DAC. Never mind. T-DAC. I'm not even seeing T-DAC. All right, let's try T-SPY. Wow, I started to analyze. That's hilarious, though. I was analyzing USA Today. All right, well, I do have T-SPY. Sorry, Sergey. It's funny when I analyze the wrong stock. It's great. Anyway, guys, if you were thinking about investing in USA Today, don't. That's a crazy level of debt. All right, so this one is the TAP Alpha SPY Growth and Daily Income ETF. All right. Okay, let's take a look here. Yeah, this one has definitely got a pretty big yield. So we're looking at 13, almost 13 point, well, it's 13.63. So I can't round it up to 13.7, but yeah, not a bad dividend. Not a bad dividend at all. Let's take a look at their performance. Yeah, not that bad. Not that bad. We're still getting a little bit of growth. Not, a little bit. At least after Liberation Day. But a lot of things after Liberation Day got pushed down, so some of that growth is just getting back to where they were before. And this is kind of where I will jump out. So if you jump out, you can see where they are now is kind of where they were before Liberation Day. So I don't know a lot about this fund, but it makes me think right away looking at it that it's probably structured for income. Now, let me try one more thing here for you. All right. T-SPY ETF. Let's just see if we can get their main page so that I can get a bit more information about it. T-SPY. All right. Oh, is T-SPY a yield max? No, I don't know. Sorry. T-SPY monthly dividend. T-SPY. Guys, seriously, how hard is it to find the T-SPY ETF site? All right, well, you know what? There's more than one way. Let me just try. Oh, here's why. All right, there we go. T-SPY. There was an extra letter in there. That was messing everything up. Here we go. TAP Alpha Funds. Yeah, this is not a yield max. I was like, what the heck is yield max doing there? All right, daily income potential. Sure, that's always fun. Now, will it actually tell me how to invest? I actually want to know a little bit. Yeah, let's go to the overview. That's what I want to see. All right. Let's see. All right, so exposure to the SPDR. Return capital is the most recent distributors, 100%. The fund currently expects, all right. Yeah, it's not giving me a lot of information, and I don't want to spend I don't want to spend an hour reading this. While people are going, come on, get on with it. But looking at what I'm seeing right now, I have a feeling they're probably using covered calls, most likely. Are they at the money? They might be. I'm not 100% sure. I would need to do a bit more research into it. But just from what I've seen so far, they seem to be doing okay. Their management fee, it's a little high. Well, actually, if you go to the total expense ratio. So guys, when you're looking at US ETFs, total expense ratio is basically the US version of the MER, of the management expense ratio. So you're looking at about 77.77%. So the fees are not that bad. I will say that. The fees are not that bad. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one for sure, Sergey. But I don't know anything about TDAC. I wasn't even able to pull that one up for whatever reason. All right, Scratch says, and let's jump back here. It looks like play will close above all-time high. Oh, I already read that one. Or Platy, there we go. So Platy, of course, being platinum. All right, TD sells silver bars. They will give you a discount if you have a TD account. Oh, interesting. Oh, let's see. 11 p.m. or a.m.? A.m. So 11 a.m., sorry. Yeah, I meant a.m. Yeah, guys, the Christmas show was in the morning, 11 a.m. Sorry. I will get that updated on the schedule right away. Right away. Let's see. Rare Earth was a 1970s band. I never heard of Rare Earth. Okay. I prefer my Earth medium. Yeah, TDAC, not T-Day. Yes, I got it. I got it. Minerals and metals are usually considered risky, but given that the mining increase, do you think holding higher percentages is smart? Like 10% per ETF. I think right now we're entering a time, and this is kind of one of these things. Like, yes, when you're looking at diversification, you want to try to keep things spread out normally. If you're going to go heavy into minerals, here's kind of the strategy I would look at. I will go heavy into minerals. I'll go heavy into things like London Gold, things like that. But as the tides turn, so eventually the tides will turn. I don't think they're going to turn in 2026. It might be maybe 2027, maybe 2028, maybe 2030. Who knows? But when I start to see the tide turning away from minerals, at that point, I'm starting to take profits. I will be taking profits, and I will pare things down to a more reasonable level for sure. So yeah, you can definitely go higher if it's within your risk tolerance. And so you always got to remember that. That's always kind of important. But have a plan for the other side, because obviously right now, minerals are going to be huge for the next bit, but they won't always be huge. There will be a time when it won't be as big. And also keep in mind, you could have a situation where a new technology could make a mineral perhaps not as desirable. So for example, if you look at lithium, lithium is still hot, but if we really perfect some of the sodium batteries and get them smaller and get them more efficient than lithium, you could see less of a demand for lithium. So always sort of always keep paying attention to the news is huge. It's very, very huge. All right. Scott says, I'd be interested in your opinion on influencer clown Kyle Livingston's favorite stock, Aduro Clean Technologies. Okay. So Aduro, oh boy, let's go to Aduro. I've brought this up before. I have brought up Aduro before. Now, they're interesting. Absolutely, they are interesting. But I don't know if they're the end all. Like, one of the things, I think they have is it plastic that this one can break down? Let's see, water-based chemically recycle waste plastics. Yeah, so the idea is being able to recycle waste plastics. It's a great idea. Here's the things that I would say though with a company like this. How effective is their technology? So I would want to do a little bit more research on that. I would want to know, is it really effective, or are they making claims that are not as spectacular as they seem? So that would be one of my concerns, because if, for example, and let's pull this up. if they were like a miracle, if they had like a miracle solution to the waste plastic, they would be exploding. Right now, it seems to me like they sort of almost, well, I think this initial pump was more or less based on the news opposed to what they actually have to offer. So right now they're new. Could they become good? Maybe, maybe, but I don't think right now. I think they're overhyped at this point. I think they're overhyped, but I do like what they're doing. I think there's potential there, but I don't think it's time to pull out the trumpet. I don't think it's time to pull out the trumpet on it. All right. Let's see. Another plus for Canadian car producers to avoid sanctions. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just a second. Let me just pull this up. Oh, we were actually looking at it a second ago. This is a Duro right here. Sorry, I forgot to bring it up. Yeah, this is a Duro. So it's you know, to me it's still, yeah, it's still speculation. If you're investing in it as a speculative play, not bad, not a bad idea. But right now, like I said, they're not ready yet for me to blow the trumpet. To say do 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 do. Here's a Doro, everybody. Yeah, not yet, not yet. They need to prove themselves still. Larry says another plus for Canadian car producers to avoid sanctions, they have to buy from Canadian steel producer Stelco, which was bought by Cleveland Cliffs November last year. There we go. Ah, the the Cleveland Cliff show. Cowboy says, had ACT sold it, no dividend. One of those 2020 hindsight things was buying for under $1. All right. Yes, yes, and we figured that out. We figured that out, Paul. Lisa says, I own a Duro. My one speculative play, they just graduated from the Shell Game Changer program. Okay, well, there we go. I hope, I like I said, and I know, I think Lisa's the one who brought up a Duro before. I like what they're doing. I really hope it works, and I really hope they do become a big thing. But like I said, right now, we need more. We need a bit more history before we can really start saying, everybody add a Duro to your portfolio. Now, there's still speculation, and Lisa's aware of that too. So, Larry, let's see, 2.8 billion of CLF deft is from Stelco purchase. Ah, interesting. I like it. Michelle says, thanks, Candace. Appreciate you. Oh, thank you. Spin the wheel to look at a random company. Yeah. It's basically Candace misspells a ticker. What are we going to review now? Paul says, I paused. Back so answer after STUFG happened. All right. Iron ore is about to break up. CLF will melt their debts. Time to buy when there's fear and no one is looking. Mayor says silver is getting scary. Silver's really, really doing interesting things. Doorpat, where do you hold your speculation? Quantum, IBIT, and semiconductor stocks? On one hand, I want to keep all the gains in the TFSA if they blow, but if they tank, no tax loss harvesting. Thoughts? That's a thing. So yeah, if you're going to put speculative stocks in your TFSA, typically you wouldn't. Typically, you don't want to put something in, like, especially if you're going in big. If you're going in big, you obviously don't want to have a speculative stock sitting in your TFSA because, yeah, you could destroy a lot of space with it. So I'm kind of that opinion that, I like, for me, something that's pure speculation, I'll probably keep it in a non-registered. Sure, you know what? If it explodes, I've got to deal with capital gains, but that's not really a bad problem to deal with. Yeah, because, you have to always take into consideration what if it absolutely fizzles up on you. Now, it depends, though. Also, keep in mind, there are some stocks that I wouldn't really consider speculation. So, for example, in the world of quantum, we got BlackBerry. I don't really see that as a speculative play. I think they're going to do fine. I think they're going to be, I think they will be huge, 5-10 years down the road. So to me, that would be one that I wouldn't feel bad about putting it in a TFSA, or an RRSP. I mean, there's definitely places to go for sure. Scott says silver is scary for werewolves. Yes, howling at the moon. Well, guys, speaking of howling at the moon, I think the moon is out there right now because we've passed the 1 hour and 30 minute mark. So we are, of course, guys, we will be back here again tomorrow. Tomorrow's show is nice and early at 12:30. So 12:30 p.m. we will be live on the air, and on Christmas Day, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Eastern, we'll be on the air as well. And we do have a show on Monday. So Monday we'll have an opportunity, of course, to add a Tuesday show. So until tomorrow, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a fantastic night. If you got any last minute things you want to get done before Christmas, well, you're running out of time. So tomorrow might, or tonight might be that time to get those last minute things done. I will see most of you tomorrow, obviously. If you got family things, that's fine. Until then, guys, enjoy the rest of, sorry, got to get big. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.